Did you ever, well, thought about quitting maybe the music?
Never thought about quitting music.
Never.
Yeah.
How important was meeting Kanye for you? Because I think you met through a mutual friend, Devin Harris.
Yeah, we met through Devon, and Devon is Kanye's cousin,
Yeah.
and Devon was my roommate. And Devon's also a producer himself. He co-produced If You're Out There on this record. He co-produced Stereo on the last album, and Refuge. So he's been a good friend and a collaborator for years. But he introduced me to Kanye when Kanye moved to New York in 2001. I had just moved there in 2000, and we started working together not long after that.
Do you still recall the first song you worked together on?
The first song we did together was a song called Do What I Gotta Do, and then we did a song called Let's Get Lifted, and we did Used to Love You, and then last was, and then we did All Right as well. Okay. And this was all before I had a record deal between 2002 and 2003.
And then everything got lifted.
Everything got lifted. Kanye blew up first, and he was able to use his success to help me get a record deal, and then the rest is history.
What is for you this album? It's called Evolver. It's been 2 years since your previous album. What did you learn maybe from your previous album that you brought into this album?
Well, I'm always learning. I don't know if there's anything specific from the previous album, because each time you make a song, each time you go to the studio, you pick up new things and new ideas and work with different producers, and you learn as you go. But I think in some ways, when you're making an album, you're kind of answering the last one in some ways. You don't want to do the same thing. You want to kind of answer it and respond. What was missing from the last album? Let me answer that. And so the last album was very mellow. It was very intimate. It was very classic, and I didn't want to make the same album again. I wanted to try something different, and so I changed up the production. I changed up the sound of this album.
Was Greenlight maybe the starting point then for you for this album?
Satisfaction was actually the starting point. Okay. That was the first song I wrote for this album, but Greenlight was actually not too far behind that. Yeah. I wrote that pretty early in the process as well. And so we started with 2 up-tempo tracks that had a bit more electronics in it. Yeah. And so it kind of set the tone for the transition that I was making as an artist. Yeah. But then I dialed it back a bit and still did some songs that were kind of more classic John Legend songs.
Why?
Like This Time and Good Morning. Because I felt like, I still love writing ballads, and I feel like I do them very well. And why would I not write a ballad just because I'm trying to make an up-tempo album? Yeah. Let's go back and make some classic ballads too. So we did This Time and Good Morning and If You're Out There. And, it's not a lot, but I wanted to round the album out.
Yeah. How many songs were written then for this album?
Probably about, I think, 30 songs we recorded and wrote for this album.
And how did you pick these songs?
You just pick, when you're picking, you just pick the best ones, really, the ones that everybody likes the most. And then if things are on the margins, then you think about how will it fit, But there were like a top 8 that everybody was sure were going to be on the album, I think.
Top 8.
And then maybe 10 even that everybody was voting for, like out of my friends and, colleagues and my A&R and Kanye. There was, a top 8 to 10 that everybody agreed on. And then everything else is just personal taste and whether you feel like this will fit the tone of the album or whatever. And then I make the final decision.
You make them. There are several collaborations on this album.
Yeah.
When you write a song, do you already have in mind who you want to collaborate with? Or is
No. When I write a song, I usually think, let's just write a great song. Yeah. And then if it feels like, do I want to do a singing bridge or do I want to have a rapper come in and do the bridge? Yeah. Then I'm like, it's really based on the style of the song and whether I think it's more hip-hop, then I'd want to have a rapper usually. If it's more kind of not hip-hop, then I'll usually just write a bridge for it. And then you think, well, certain songs could be good duets, like male-female kind of love song duets. And I thought no other love could be that, and quickly. So we decided to use them for that.
And then, well, how do you pick what person that you want to approach for?
When I'm approaching someone, I think, well, whose voice would fit on this production? Whose voice would make sense? Who would add value to the record? Who would add something either creatively or just the quality of their sound? and even commercially, like, is this person, is this person somebody that other people would love to hear? Would the fans be excited to hear this person? And I think with every person that I picked, it was a combination of all those things. They're all really talented. They're all great at what they do, some of the best at what they do. And I thought all of them had like a value to them when it comes to the name value, saying you have Andre 3000 and Kanye and Brandy and Estelle, they're all like powerful names.
Yeah.